Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to episode 61. This is Pat Stamper here, Pat Mayer from Akron, Ohio. So if you are joining in on the Facebook Live, please say hello and leave me a comment. And if you are watching the replay on YouTube, please give me a comment there and a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. So what are we doing today? Well, first of all, here's my story. About a half an hour ago, maybe 45 minutes ago, I decided to totally change up what I had planned to do. So I'm just kind of moseying around and trying to figure out what I was going to do, because not that I didn't like what I was doing, but I decided to change it up. So anyway, I'm going to chalk it up to National Fruitcake Day, and I did have a bite of fruitcake this morning. So on that note, I will go ahead and get started. And thank you for joining, and I hope you like what you see today. So this, make sure I can see everything here. That's that. We're flipped down to my page here. And these are coming next week. Actually, when I do my live next Monday, I still will not be able to show the items in these catalogs. But if you have not received one yet, and you don't have a demonstrator that you work with, please let me know. But I sent these out to my customers, and hopefully they have had a chance to look through them and enjoy, because there's lots of good things there. So starting in January on the 4th, we are starting our annual Sale-a-Bration. And that means, if you're not familiar with it, that means that with a purchase, whether it is from the mini catalog that we'll be launching next week, or the annual catalog, you get to choose something free out of this catalog. And there are two levels. There are $50 items, or with a $50 order before tax and shipping, you can choose something. Or there are, I believe, two that are $100 items. And that's one that I'm going to show today to get you excited about that. Also have another couple little tips to share. Hey, Nancy. Hi, Gloria. Yes, good for me on the fruitcake. And I can't believe did you say you've never eaten fruitcake before? Oh, I do like it. I'm one of those strange people who likes fruitcake, but obviously it has its limits. So I think I need to move everything up, because I'm not seeing everything. I must have adjusted stuff on my table here. So anyway, we're still looking at this from the outside. I know when you get it, you're going to love it from the inside as well. So what am I doing? First of all, let's see, or second of all, I'm going to use the Friendly Hello stamp set. This is from Sale-a-Bration, and this is part of a $100 level 2 item, and it comes with 12 by 12 paper. Nancy, that's funny. I like your upside down little smiley face or whatever. Hi, Carol. Good to see you today. And I have taken the very bold step. This is very bold for me. I want you to know that. And I cut my 12 by 12 paper for the whole pack that goes with this into 4 by 6. And it's very bold for me. So these are the papers. I've cut them 4 by 6. And there is a demonstrator in Australia, Kylie Bertucci. She subscribes to this Love It, Chop It. If you love the paper, you're going to chop it up and use it. So that is one of my goals. I think I said probably the same thing last year. One of my goals is to cut up my paper and use it. And I felt that, I know, Nancy, it's very, very bold. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, I figured with 4x6 pieces, I can do a lot with it. So I've done that with this. That was really 12x12 just a few minutes ago, actually about an hour ago. And these are the papers that are here. And here is the other side. And let's see what I put these in though. This is the coolest thing. I bought these little containers for photos quite some time ago. But I think in the back of my mind, I really thought that they would be good for designer paper. And it is something that I got from Joann Fabrics and ordered it. And it's called a top-notch large photo. I'm looking over here on my paper here. Large photo and craft keeper. So you could keep other things in these. And there are 16 in a big case, and the big case is across the room, so I'm not going to go get it. But there are 16 of these in this little case. So I could carry 16 packets of designer paper all cut up, or craft items, or a whole bunch of die cuts, and go traipsing across to a craft event or something. So I did that with this, and then I also did it with the Eden's Garden paper. And what I did was to make a copy of the backing sheet that comes with our designer paper, and copy that so I would know, first of all, what the name was, and second of all, what all the colors are in there. So this is what I was actually going to start with today, was the Eden's Garden, because it's on its way out. I've been promoting it since November. The die set and stamps will be in the next catalog, the one I just showed you, but this lovely paper and the gems, and there's cotton paper that goes with it, will not be available in the next catalog, and they'll be done like next Tuesday. So I'll show you some cards that I was going to do, but that's when I got excited about doing this. So wish me luck, and but I think it's going to work. And you know, we all do things differently, but I'm kind of excited to do this instead of looking at all my 12x12 paper. And I'm not a scrapbooker, so I think I can do a lot of things with this. So anyway, let's put that away and show you what I'm going to do today. I have pulled out one of the pieces from that. So this is 4x6. Yes, it is hard to do, Carol. But like I said, I just kind of felt it in my heart. And maybe it was the fruitcake, I don't know, or cut your own snowflake day. There's a day for everything. So anyway, I chose to do this, and the colors in this pack of paper are basic black, fresh freesia, granny apple green, which this one is, petal pink, pool party, and shaded spruce. So I'm going to start with doing some background stamping. And I need to make sure that this is cleaned off because I've already got black on me. I had started with black on this, so let me make sure that this is clean. But if you remember last week when I was doing the embossing, I was using a Versamark pad, and a Versamark pad is, I think, an essential in your crafting kit because you can not only emboss with it, but you can do what I'm going to do next, which is make a watermark on colored cardstock. So I had black on this earlier, so I want to make sure it's totally clean. There we go. And grab my Versamark. And it's sticky, so I kind of like to hold on to it. And I'm just going to kind of stamp around the edge. And I don't know that you can see that on here. There, I think you can see. It's a little fuzzy. And go around the edge, so just a little bit of that watermark will show around the edge of my paper. So actually I feel like I'm kind of what they call stamping on the fly today, because my brain was just flitting from one thing to the next, and then I settled on this, and I like it. So there's another reason to have the Versamark pad. Now I've got my piece of paper that is cut 6 by 4. So I get a lot out of there, and all of that fits in that little box. And what I'm going to do is tear it, because my cardstock base is only 5.5 inches long. It's 5.5. And it's scored at half, so it's 11. So it's 4.25 by 11. And I'm going to tear this about 1/3 of the way up. So I get a little white line there. Now I'm not really keen on this on the other side, so I'm just going to keep it this way and layer that so that I've got that little white level here. And what I'm going to do, let me flip my face around here. And there we go. So I can zoom in a little bit better. That's better. And you can go this way or this way. When you tear paper across and use your thumb as a guide, then you get the white part in there, and that's what I want to show. So that's going to flip up there like that. And even though it doesn't match, it still looks fine. Let's see, did I say hello to everybody? Hi, Fran, I'm not sure I said hello to you. Welcome. So there I've got that. And then I'm going to adhere that down on my card base. And I think actually this was the only design that I really didn't care for, at least to go with the rest of the flowers. But that's why we have double-sided paper, so I can cover it up. So I'm using my Stampin' Seal. And then I'm going to put this over top of it, and that will match. So, Gloria, you're a fruitcake person. Nancy, you have never even tasted it. I'm shocked. I grew up, my mom always made fruitcake. I've never made it. So I know it's kind of a labor of love for those people who really like fruitcake, because I don't think you'd make it if you didn't like it. And I did get a small little loaf of it for in a Christmas bag. So I do like it, but it has its limits. It has its limits. So there we've got that. And now I'm going to stamp on one of our tailored tags with the sentiment and the bird. I love the bird in here. So we're already thinking spring now that Christmas is over. And I'm going to put this on here. And where is my bird? Here's the bird. And I'm going to stamp him with Memento. That's the ink that we like to use to be able to use the Stampin' blends. I want to make sure I get a good crisp image on him. And let's see, I want him at this end so I can put some twine up at this end. So let's get him. This is the largest of the one stitched tag. And I should have a piercing mat under this since this is photopolymer, but that's a good crisp image, so that's good. All right, so let's put that aside. And now I'm going to color with the Stampin' Blends, and I pulled out Granny Apple Green, which is the color of my card, some Pool Party, and Fresh Freesia, because those are all colors in this cardstock pack. But what I'm going to do a little bit different, and I read this somewhere and I can't exactly remember where, is to use a window sheet or a clear block or something, even a piece of glass, under your project that you're going to use with the Stampin' Blends. And I believe this came from something that had to do with Copic markers. I've never used Copic markers. I know it's a very premier type alcohol marker, but I love our Stampin' Blends. They go with all of our colors, so I would see no reason to have something other than that. But this was the theory behind what I was reading. And again, I don't exactly remember where I saw it. The Stampin' Blends and any alcohol marker bleeds through, so you always want to have it mounted on something else, so it bleeds through. That means if it's bleeding through on a piece of cardstock that you have underneath, or cardboard or something, or even the grid sheet, that means it's drying quicker. It's not going to dry as quick if I use a window sheet or a piece of acetate underneath it. Now, where did I get this? Our photopolymer stamp sets come with all of the stamps on a piece of acrylic. And then when you pull those off and put them on here, this is kind of left over. And it's a good, thick, probably just like our window sheets that we have. So I'm going to color on that and see if that makes a little bit of a difference. I kind of think it does, but that's just me. The theory, it does make sense that is going to keep your, now we can't see that. There we go. That it's going to not make your colors dry as quickly. So let's start with the bird, and I've got a dark Pool Party here, and I'll use the pointed end or the bullet end to go around the edge. And again, it's bleeding through the cardstock, but it's not drying on cardstock below it because I've got this. And then use the dark on the shadowed areas. Now I'm going to come in with the light, and I'm using the brush end These are just so much fun to color with. And then I will outline again with the dark to give it some dimension. So do you have New Year's plans, or just kind of low-key since everything's a little bit crazy again this year as we end the year? So there is what the bird looks like. And yes, it bleeds through, maybe not quite as much, but it didn't dry as quick because I had it on the piece of acrylic. And let's do some fresh freesia on these little flowers. And let's see, rather than that, I think I'm just going to use the dark. These are hard to pull off because they don't want to, you don't want them to dry out so quickly. So I'm going to use the dark here on the shadowy lines. And fill in with just a little bit of the light. Okay. Okay, I don't like that very well. Let's just color the flower. The fresh freesia is a little bit different color lavender than I usually like, but it does dry to be a pretty color. Okay, that looks good. We're going to use some Wink of Stella here shortly anyway. And then grab the Granny Apple Green and do the leaves and the stem. So who has already started taking down Christmas decorations? Or do you have a specific time that you take them down? I guess maybe it depends on how long they've been up, perhaps. I generally take my tree down right around New Year's, but I keep up things that are like wintry and still look nice through winter, maybe until February, when it's time to start doing stuff maybe for a little bit of Valentine's Day. All right, so that part's colored. I've already done a tag. And there it is. And I stamped, "Hope you have the best birthday," on a piece of scrap paper. And then I cut it out. Some people call this, what is the name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Ransom note. So you cut things out in little words, and that way it's going to fit on here instead of the long way. So I was able to do "Hope you have the," and then that's glued down, and then "Best Birthday" is on little dimensionals. And I put some black twine through there. And that's going to go on the card like this. And that little bit of twine can hang over. And let's do some dimensionals on the back. I'm down to the wire on this little pack, but I use every little bit of dimensionals that I can. I don't let any of those go to waste. And then here's some. right across there. And on this one, there's a little splatter stamp that comes in the stamp set, and I love it. Always good to do some splattering. So there's our little tag that comes down there. And let's grab a piece of paper to put on the inside. I just put a new refill in here, and I'm having trouble getting it started. There we go. And it wants to stick where I don't want it. Okay. There we go. It's still a little crooked, but it's okay. So there's the card. This was another one that I did. This was the first little thought that I did on this one. And this wasn't one of the tags. I just used a piece of scrap paper and then cut around the bird so that it looks a little bit more dimensional. And then this one ended up with a piece of paper on the inside. And what this one needs, though, to finish it off, are some classic matte dots. And these are in white and like a vanilla, gray, and black. So I'll grab my take a pick tool and use some of the black ones to go on here. Here, and then one down at the bottom. So that adds that. And then this one I had filled in with Wink of Stella. So this one's already shiny. So that is my designer paper cut down into 4x6. I think I'll be able to use it more. I will use it more. But let me show you some other cards that I made. This was my first thought, and this is with the Eden's Garden. And this is the stamp set that goes with that. And then I showed you the designer paper that I already had cut down 4x6. This will be in the new catalog along with the dies that will go with it. But this is one of the cards that I did. And again, that was just 4x6, tore it apart, put some ribbon across there. But this is a new die set. I actually don't remember the name of it, but it's got a shadow behind, and it's Amazing Thanks, I think it is. And what I did on here was to color it with blends, the Evening Evergreen blends, and then cut it out. So that's why it has a little bit different color variation on there. So there was that one. Here is another one, because I do have some thank you cards to get sent out. And that, it just says thanks. And then here's another one that is hello there. I love this paper, and it's really going to be hard to let it go. So I'm going to have to make sure that I do use it. Here's one more. And this one I used the gold and rose gold 6x6 paper and made this thank you, because you can cut the S off and then have you. And then I used some of the garden gems, and those also are not going to be in the next catalog. So this was, these were my original ones, and then I switched to do the one with the Sale-a-Bration. So you get kind of a double dose today. So these are with Eden Garden. The paper's going away, but the stamp set is staying. But I didn't actually use the stamp set except for here. I used hello there, or yeah, hello there here. And then this is an ephemera pack. Actually, that's like a hidden little gem in the catalog. I don't use the ephemera packs. I buy them. This is the Expressions in Ink ephemera pack. And if you've never noticed those, give me one more thing here to look at, and then we'll be signing off. The ephemera packs, for this one on page 141 in the embellishments area, and not only do you get some gold elements, but you also get adhesive backed sequins to go with that. So, you know, look at those things if you don't have die cuts that might match those and you want to use some little leaf things, and you get a lot of those. You get 100 pieces. Those are not, the pieces are not adhesive back though, but those ephemera packs are pretty cool. You get lots and lots of gold there. Thanks, Carol. It's always fun, and thanks for joining, and Happy New Year, everybody. Have a great New Year, and I hope everybody's staying safe, and just best wishes for a wonderful New Year, and I will see you in 2022. Thanks for being here. Take care. Bye-bye.